static in the marrow. Out and let the secrets bleed. I'm a garden of thorns where there used to be seed. Your blueprints are burning in the back of my eyes. I'm sick of the sugar and the hollow point lies. I'm a walking disaster with a heart of chrome, trying to find a way to dismantle this home. Tear the sky open and swallow the sun. The war in my head has only begun. I'm shedding the skin of the person you knew and burying the ghost of the things I should do. Neon flicker in a blacked out room. I'm dancing on the edge of a beautiful doom. No more nodding when the master speaks. I can feel the power in the way the floor creaks. Rebel in the wise, poison in the well. I'm breaking the lease on this customized hell. Scream at the stars of the universe breaks. I'm taking back everything a mistake. I'm the master of wreckage, the king of the floor, and I'm biting the head of the system law. Down here, the air is thin and gray. Slowly watching the color fray. I am the pressure, I am the weight before the explosion. It's never too late. Short circuit the system and watch it all glow. I'm the landslide coming from the mountain of low. Freedom is heavy, freedom is loud. I'm drifting away from the suffocated crowd. Watch me go, watch me go. A broken string on the guitar, you left leaning against the wall. Coil like a snake that lost its venom in the winter cold. I found a ticket stub from a movie we walked out of halfway. Reminder of a night when we thought we had forever to waste. The shadows are lengthening across the peeling wallpaper. The smell of rain is rising from the cracks in the sidewalk outside. Hollow laughter ringing through the chambers of a frozen heart. The sting of wood smoke and the chill of a door left ajar. A tapestry of errors woven into the fabric of the everyday. The muted colors of a sunset that refuses to fade. coffee you liked, even though I can't stand the taste. The ritual of mourning that I perform every single morning. I regret the way I let the distance grow until it was a canyon. Too wide the bridge and too deep for us to ever climb out. I forged your signature on the lease just to keep you near me. I lied about the future because I was terrified of the present. I am the reason we are both ghosts in this city tonight. The heat is fading and the ashes are scattering in the wind. I am finally standing on the other side of the goodbye. The silence is no longer a burden I have to carry. Concrete rising, the street lamp flickers like a dying nerve. A rusted swing set creaks against the dirt. Shadows stretch thin across the peeling pain, while the heavy air tastes of iron and grease. My pulse is racing against the freight train's hum. The walls are sweating in this airless room. I can feel the static crawling up my skin. Break the glass and let the cold wind scream, tearing through the map of this ghost machine, suffocating under skies of heavy lead and gray. Watch the tail lights bleed into the black away. Cigarette burns on the diner's cracked vinyl. The clock face is frozen at the hour of regret. Broken glass glitters like diamonds in the gutter. Every handshake feels like a locked iron gate. I'm terrified I'll wake up 60 years from now, still staring at the same cracked ceiling boards, hating lost in salt water. Silver frost on the windshield where you drew a heart with your thumb. I can still see the blur of it when the morning sun hits the glass. A tangled pair of headphones in the glove box we used to share, holding on to the tangles as if they were a lifeline to the past. The engine hums a low frequency that rattles my very bones. The horizon is blurring into a bruised shade of purple and gray. Shimmering reef dancing like dust, molten a beam of light. The hollow ring of a phone that no one's going to answer. Velvet darkness swallowing the crumbs of our final meal together. A symphony of sighs echoing through the empty hallways. I found the key to your apartment at the bottom of my winter coat. A useless piece of metal that doesn't open anything anymore. I regret the pride that kept my mouth shut while you were screaming, watching the ship sing, while I stood safely on the shore. I knew the end was coming weeks before you even packed a bag. I sabotaged the peace because I didn't know how to handle the quiet. I am the architect of the ruins I am currently standing in. Tear the sky open and let the rain wash the rust away. The weight of the unspoken is finally crashing down on the floor. I am screaming into the void and hearing the echo die out. The unfinished goodbye is finally written in the dirt. Walking away from the wreckage without looking back once. The air is cold and fresh and finally mine to breathe. stains spread like ink on a folded map. The old men lean on their porches like heavy statues. Watching the weeds swallow the picket fence hole. Peeling back to show a skeletal grin. Supermarket lights hum a low and lonely song. Jagged fences bite into the cooling evening sky. The smell of wet pavement is a faded Polaroids curled at the edges on the kitchen table. A fingerprint in the dust on the mirror you forgot to wipe away. The kettle whistles a lonely tune that stays in the wrong key. Your teacup sits empty beside a stack of unpaid bills. The rhythm of the clock feels like a of gone for good. Scratchy vinyl noise. The television hums with a voice I don't know. Watching the static begin to overflow. My pulse is a rhythm that I can't quite catch. A cold and a fever that I cannot unlatch. There's a parasite feeding on the thoughts in my brain, turning my logic into something profane. The clouds are bruised purple and heavy with lead, echoing words that should never be said. I'm climbing the ladder of a sinking ship, trying to loosen the devil's own grip. I'm purging the static from the center of my soul, the canvas and making it green. I pulled the plug and the room went dead, clearing the noise from the back of my head. The silence is heavy, but the silence is mine. A boundary drawn at the edge of the line. Stretching like a wire on a bow, ready to launch me where I need to go. I'm feeling the heat of a sun that is new, burning away all the things that weren't true. I'm rewriting the code of the ghost in the wild, walking through walls and walking through fire. I'm claiming the throne that I left in the dirt, finding the power underneath all the hurt, giving my spirit the ultimate spurt. An ocean of glass and a mountain of salt, finding the keys to the heavy steel vault. I'm digging for gold in a graveyard of tin, unlocking the beauty that's buried within. No more hiding, no more sin. That no darkness destroy. escape. The silence is a predator, and I'm the only bait. I've been standing on the platform just to learn how to wait, but the train is a skeleton and the tracks are a lie, and I'm looking at the ceiling till the clouds start to die. I've got a fistful of static and a mouthful of grit, and I'm finally ready to admit that I quit. Kick down the barricade and run for the hills. I'm done with the doctors and the porcelain pills. I'm a wild-eyed animal finding its teeth and shedding the mask that was buried beneath. Graffiti on the soul and a permanent ink. It's a long way down and I'm starting to sink, but the bottom is a floor where I can finally stand, and I'm drawing a line in the shifting sand. Your version of perfect is a coffin of me, and I'm taking the lock but I'm losing the key. Ignite the fuel in the engine of hate. I'm rewriting the lines of a prepackaged fate. No more apologizing for the space that I take. I'm the tidal wave following the earthquake. Deep breaths, the air is getting cold. Old stories that were never told. I'm the shadow in the corner of your eye, waiting for the old self to finally die. Smash the glass, let the water pour out. I'm the only scream in a world full of doubt. Break, break, break wide, break down. I'm wearing the thorns like a heavy metal crown. Yeah. Shattered glass ceiling, holding a line. Static in a rafter, cutting through the line. They wired my jaw with a silver-plated lie, but the hunger in the basement is starting to cry. Dust on the records and rust on the chain. I'm rewriting the chemistry inside of my brain. I'm breaking the walls down to breathe in the fire, raising my fist in the funeral pyre. No more strings on the puppet of shame. I'm lighting the match and I'm killing the name. Concrete echo of a ghost town mind, leaving all the polished plastic poisons behind. Kick the pedestal until the idols crack. There's a freight train coming and it's never coming back. Chaos is a rhythm that I finally found, while the keepers of the order are underground. Shatter the silence with a thunderous roar, kicking the locks off the heavy set door. No more anchors dragging my soul. I'm losing my grip and I'm taking control. Cold, the shadows are stretching long. Whispers, where did the light go wrong? I'm digging a hole to bury the fear, waiting for the storm to finally appear. I wrote. Those stains on the driveway look like Rorschach blots. I smell of burnt rubber hangs in the humid air. I'm staring at the mountain that blocks out the sun, feeling the weight of the valley on my shoulders. She's crawling against the silence of the afternoon. The engine is a heartbeat thudding in the driveway. Melt the silver of my youth to forge a new path. Screaming into the hollow night until the stars shake. I am the lightning striking the highest point of the hill, carving my own name into the crust of the earth. Feels like dry skin under my boots. The sunset is just a bruise that refuses to heal. I see the same car circling the same tired blocks, trapped in a loop that I am finally breaking. I hit the suitcase under the bed like a weapon of war. I am a coward who finally found the strength to betray this place, ignite the fuel and become the sparks in the wind, flying over the sleeping valley like a golden hawk. I am the ghost that escaped the machine tonight, breathing the mountain air without any chains into the black. Beyond the ridge, never look back. Iron lung escape. Silence is a predator, and I'm the only bait. I've been standing on the platform just to learn how to wait. But the train is a skeleton, and the tracks are alive. And I'm looking at the ceiling till the clouds start to die. I got a fist full of static and a mouth full of grit, and I'm finally ready to admit that I quit. Kick down the barricade and run for the hills. I'm done with the doctors and the poison pills. I'm a wild-eyed animal, finding its teeth and shedding the mask that was buried beneath. Graffiti on the soul and a permanent ink. It's a long way down and I'm starting to sing, but the bottom is a floor I can finally stand, and I'm drawing a line in the shifting sand. Your version of perfect is a coffin to me, and I'm taking the lock, but I'm losing the key. Ignite the fuel in the engine of hate. I'm rewriting the lines of a prepackaged fate. No more apologizing for the space that I take. I'm the tidal wave following the earthquake. Deep breaths, the air is getting cold. from my lungs. Every nerve ending is firing a signal that no one receives. I am the static on the screen after the broadcast ends. This night is a labyrinth with no exit in sight.
Concrete horizon, the street lamp flickers like a dying nerve. A rusted swing set creaks against the dirt. Shadows stretch thin across the peeling paint, while the heavy air tastes of iron and grease. My pulse is racing against the freight train's hum. The walls are sweating in this airless room. I can feel the static crawling up my skin. Break the glass and let the cold wind scream, tearing through the map of this ghost machine.
side of the glass. I see a man who forgot the sound of his own laughter. The perspective shifts until the ceiling is the only ground. I am a ghost in a machine that has run